You want to rant?
How goes? Welcome to the Let's Rant podcast. I'm joined by Toxic Toucan.
Hello.
And Astro.
What's up?
Yeah, well, what are we talking about today? Take it away, Toucan.
We're going to be talking about Baited. We're going to be talking about a different we're a podcast talking about a podcast. Basically all the drama
Podcast
surrounding
Inception.
Baited. And Tommy in breaking up the podcast. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, right?
Yes.
I got the right news?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, that's
so.
And just for a little bit of backstory, we've all met each other through the Baited podcast and through Tommy, I believe. So
yeah, we all go to Tommy's server and chill out.
So
actually, I don't know how Astro found me. He found me a really long time ago.
You don't remember.
Oh. All right. Well, I found Toucan.
I think he might have found me from
Tommy.
Yeah. I talked to Tommy a few times on there, and Colossal once. So that was neat. But
You
okay.
actually what? Wait a minute.
Yeah,
You've
I talked to Colossal, and you do remember when we're gonna get off subject for a second?
Yeah, we really are.
Already? Do you remember when Lion Maker had just came back on Twitter and he was like tweeting, and there was a bunch of drama, and then Colossal was making an interview with him? I had talked to him. He came on the podcast, or not whatever Tommy's thing's
Tommy's
called.
show. Shot from the
Tommy's
point.
show. Yeah, shot from the point right before he did the interview. And so I asked Colossal a few questions about basically the interview, like that he was going to do.
Cool.
Huh.
He was really nice. He was cool.
I'm trying to remember I can't remember if I was there or if I was watching that live or not.
Yeah, that's the one I was telling you about earlier, that I was telling them, I was like, basically like, you guys are great and I love all of you. You know, I love Tommy and I love Colossal.
Kiss
and then
ass.
Dave was like, what
Poor
the hell,
Dave.
man? And then I was like, nobody even knows who you are. They were like, wow,
He has
I
his
see
own
what
show
you're called,
now.
toxic.
Oh yeah, Dead on Dave. Oh, he's going to be a part of the new
WWE
podcast
show.
coming out. Catch
Yeah, that's what I heard.
33.
Oh yeah.
Basically, now that Baited is split up, it used to be Clown, Tommy, and Keem. Now Keem has taken over on Baited, and so Clown and Tommy have split off, and they're going to do their own podcast. That's called Catch 33, and as far as I know, we're going to get a new episode of that in 2017.
Well, I mean, knowing Colossal and how much time he takes to do things,
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to get like a podcast started with. But so it's really on Tommy and his friend to kind of get that thing rolling, probably, because they call him Colossal is lazy for a reason. But okay, so let's kind of start from the beginning. So we had Baited, right, which was just the drama alert Keemstar. Well, everybody should know what Baited was, but you know, Colossal is crazy, and Tommy and what's his
Tommy
full
C.
name? Tommy
C. Yeah, Tommy NC is somebody else, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Tommy
the
NC
other
is
guy.
his friend, who's the autistic guy who was originally defending against Keemstar, and then Keemstar was like, "Hey, you want to be in a podcast?" And he was like, "Sure, let me just ask Tommy NC." And then Tommy NC was like, "Yeah, you can do the podcast." So
guy that leaked
I've
out.
enjoyed Baited. You guys like the original cast in Baited?
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Listened to every episode as soon as it came out.
Well, and it had like such a, to me, personality behind it, because you had like Keemstar, who was just on the tail end of like a whole bunch of drama when it started, and then you had Tommy, who like, you know, was like kind of like a what is he, is he New Jersey or New Yorker? I can't remember, but New Jersey.
That sounds right.
He's like a New Jersey guy, and he's like, you know,
Well, isn't he
like
from Boston?
abrasive and like really honest, and like, you know, has that that unique laugh.
Oh,
It
yeah.
might be Boston.
His laugh is great.
But yeah, and then you had him, and then you had like Colossal, who's like really, really like, I don't know. He's got that. He's just so. You can pick like Colossal out of like a haystack. Like if he's a needle, he's just got that distinct voice and really good way of talking. You know.
Yeah, and I remember when I first found Baited, I actually, well, this was during all the drama between Keemstar and Leafy and Grade A, Under A, and that's what I actually I saw like all of Grade A's videos at the time, and I was subscribed to him. I watched like every video, and I actually I didn't know that a lot of what Grade had said was like taken out of context and completely false in some of his claims.
Yeah, no. I feel like that was like, because when I watched Grade's video, I was like, oh, this is pretty harsh when he made his original video on Keemstar. And then it found out that a lot of it was like, I don't know, I lost a lot of respect for him at that time.
Yeah, me too.
I really like Grade as an entertainer. For the most part, most of his videos are pretty funny. But then I don't know.
I agree, but I can't watch him anymore. I can't watch him after what he did and said.
They're really not as good anymore either.
His video game one is actually pretty funny. I watched that one recently, and that one was, but the other ones haven't been as funny in my opinion either. And then he did a video where he was like, I'm not going to upload as much because
oh yeah,
I don't know if you remember this. He's like, because I have sores on my hands and stuff. He's like,
oh yeah.
Because of the stress, and I was, and then I was like, well, I don't understand, because if, I'd still go to work regardless of I could feel like crap, and I most likely would still go to work because I can't lose my job. And then people that have YouTube as a job are just like, I'll just do it whenever I feel like it. I feel like that's not the right
that's
mentality
a little bit ridiculous.
If it's your job, then stick it out. Don't But I guess that's my work mentality in general. But. So we were talking about Baited, right?
Yeah, we were talking about
did you guys like the episode 14 with Andy Milanakis and
Okay. Well, wait. We should probably bridge that.
Let's
first.
Okay. Well, let's wrap up what we were saying, and then we can get into the new members. Yeah, we had Clown, Tommy, Keemstar. At the time, Keemstar he had all that drama going on. He went through a nervous breakdown.
Right.
I felt
and that was
super sorry for the guy.
Yeah, he was crying a lot on Twitch, or not Twitch, Twitter. And it was bad. And I remember he had all these exposed videos coming, and he was threatening to DDoS. DDoS. Yeah, I knew I was saying something wrong.
It's a DDoS.
Threatening to DDoS. Clown, right? And that's how this all started, because Clown was saying he was going to make a video on him, and then they ended up making the podcast instead.
Well,
as a way of venting to each other and.
Well, wait, wasn't he just calling him a rat over and over again?
Well, he was, and then all this stuff was coming out, and Colossal said he was going to make a video on Keemstar as well, and Keemstar DM'd him and was like, blah 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 blah, I'm going to DDoS you. And then from there, I think he apologized later on, and then he asked him to be in the podcast.
Yeah, which is super cool of Keem, considering and he had a great idea for finding people with just such differing opinions, rather than everyone who just gets along, which is mostly what every podcast is out there, and kind of including this one. I like Keemstar, but he can be a bit of a arrogant prick.
Yeah, he's a bit of an egomaniac from time to time, is kind of how I feel about him. Is he can be entertaining to watch, and even really nice and genuine sometimes, but then he flips, kind of I got a lot of people in real life that are kind of like that, where they just they're good one day, and then they're just awful the next day. I don't know, that one person in your life who's hey, yeah, I love you, man, you're the best, and then the next day they're oh, you screw up at everything, you suck. It's wow, okay. That's kind of how I feel Keemstar is, and then the internet is so topsy-turvy with him, where Keemstar will basically just be talking.
Yeah, that's
right?
the thing, isn't it? It's
so different from. Oh, I hate you now, and then he's oh, I love you now. It's well, okay, make up your mind at least.
Oh man, it's he's bipolar. He's freaking one day it's this, and the next day it's that. It's no wonder
That's
that
good. I would describe him as pretty bipolar, and he did say that he is like quote unquote reactionary, which would make sense. Is that he just reacts really fast to everything, and then he
doesn't think things through though. That's his biggest like problem, really. He doesn't think things through.
That's true. That's true. And the internet itself
drives me crazy.
Has a problem. Like, I don't want to like bring everybody like into it, but there's like a certain group of people that hated Keemstar. They were making exposed videos. Then people started to like Keemstar, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Keemstar's a pretty cool guy." And I was like, "Well, you shouldn't flip because the tide has turned, but rather like always have your own opinion on something." And that's essentially how I like try to make my opinions.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much that's fake that it's kind of hard to tell like what's real with Keemstar. Cause like I just found what was it? Well, like there's so many things that it was like, oh no, this was satire. Oh, this was a character, and then no, this was actually like Daniel came.
Well, I wish he would just have like a time where he changed, like be Daniel Keem, like, or be Keemstar, like on your Twitter persona, on everything. Yeah. But then do a podcast, and then like either have like
keep
just
your damn
be yourself
characters
or be
separate.
your character. Like you should have like one spot where you like this is for real me. Like even when Pyrocynical, he'll do this where he'll say he's breaking character right now, like, and then he'll say a genuine compliment or say something nice, and then like I think that's good. Like when somebody's like, I'm breaking character, I'm not in my character anymore, and I think Keemstar could use that a bit more instead of like always throwing it as an excuse, like, oh, I'm a character, like he's so stupid. Like
I agree.
And honestly, then all this drama went down. What is Astro still here? By the way,
he's still here.
Oh yeah. I'm just listening to you guys.
I was just making sure you.
I have no
something
input to the
happen.
conversation yet.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so we all liked Baited. Then we get to the point where drama started happening in Baited, and there's been drama back and forth. Certain episodes didn't want to be released. Other episodes
took forever.
Did want to be released, but other people didn't want it, that kind of stuff.
They had the whole thing was scarce. Like they did a whole podcast and then they didn't release the podcast. It was like just too boring. Yeah, that's right. They call them boring.
Which is funny because everybody always says scarce is boring. So it's like, why didn't you expect that? Like scarce is kind of boring. He's slow talking and it's just more calm, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to talk more about Scarce, but I think we should do a different podcast.
Maybe we'll save that for the next podcast or the end after we finish those. That way we don't
call it the most boring podcast on earth.
We have to get into the new Baited eventually.
I know, right?
So that's where we get into the actual drama. So sequentially, then we get to what went down, which is basically you had Keemstar out of nowhere go onto Twitter and be like, so Colossal's asking for more money, blah, 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 and started like complaining about it to like everyone.
Yep.
And then everybody got pissed at him because they were like, you should just have settled this privately.
Super
like this isn't something you should have brought to the public.
It's really, really unprofessional.
I understand he's emotional, but that's really unprofessional. And he's always talking about how he's a businessman, and it's not a business way of moving. Now, I agree with Tommy on that subject, which is when they actually found out, when they actually talked to each other, they were talking about an even split, which would have been 33%. So Colossal would have been getting a 0.3%, or no, 3% increase, right?
Okay. Yeah, because he's editing.
So they would have been 33, 33, 33.
Oh, what?
No, right? No.
Oh, no, sorry.
How was it split up?
I don't know. What? I didn't...
It's 33.33% for everyone in the new setting, but before it was like 50 for Keemstar.
Yeah. 33.3% would have been an even split for all three of them.
I know.
Yeah, before that,
Tommy was okay with the numbers. He understood where he was. He understood that he was like the little guy, and in a business world, then he would, he'd be getting like 5%. I'm pretty sure that's what he said in one of his live streams. Well, it was more about Clown trying to get a bigger cut for Tommy, but
Right, and then Tommy was like, I don't care. And then I agreed with Tommy to a degree. Like, Keemstar has the most relevancy, and he's like the owner of the podcast. He should probably get the most money. You know, that's fair. So I was like, I agree with that, but I don't agree with him, you know, running and then like tattling on Clown. Basically, it was wrong. So
yeah, wait.
After that,
who tattled what? Who tattled on who?
So you know, Keemstar was the first one to basically talk about it on Twitter without anybody's knowledge, without
fucking Keemstar. God damn it! Really?
And so so he started it.
God damn it, Keemstar.
Well, Clown started it by asking Keemstar about getting
but Keem's the one.
Pay increase.
Keem's the quote unquote businessman who freaking brought it to the public.
That's what I was saying. He always says he's a businessman, and then so that's how this all started, and then. They were talking, and they're like, the podcast is over, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And then, because everybody was kind of mad. And so Tommy did a stream. He's like, oh, donate if you want. Like, the podcast is over. And he was making jokes about how he was going to be poor now and he was going to get a job at McDonald's and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then Keemstar got mad at Tommy for that, for talking about how he's poor now. And then essentially... They were talking about getting the podcast started again.
And the poor thing was a joke.
And only if, because they were going to do a podcast on the whole money thing. They were going to do a whole podcast on, and they did. But Keemstar said he looked really bad in it, so he didn't want it released. And then Colossal was like, I've always said that if Tommy leaves, then I leave. We walk. So if you don't release the podcast, like if you don't, you know, stop censoring every single episode we do. If you release the podcast, we'll stay on. If you don't, then we walk.
Oh, wow.
And Keemstar was like, well, I'm not releasing it, so.
Oh, man.
And then so they walked. They're like, okay, if you're not releasing it, then I'm walking. So both of them walked. And then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, Keemstar started talking like crap about like how Tommy wasn't a man because he couldn't support his family and how he gave him $500.
That was a low blow, honestly.
Yeah.
He was like, you know, I'm sorry for the guy. He can't support his family, but he should have been doing the work and being a man and supporting his family. And I bought him a mic and I gave him $500 and he asked for a shout out. And he just doesn't respect me and this.
He always brings in money whenever he's trying to play a victim.
Whenever he argues, like he puts himself on top of a pedestal and like tries to like.
I'd be I would love like a shout out from Keemstar, but at the same time I would hate it because.
Oh yeah, no, he always
over your head for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
He'd be like, well, I gave you that shout out once, so you'd be nowhere without me. He's like, so you have to bow down to me, basically. And so Tommy did, this is where I think Tommy made a mistake, is that he told on his Twitch, or on his Twitter, I keep saying Twitch, he said on his Twitter that Keemstar was talking to them about how he was cheating on his girlfriend. And how they have an agreement that they can basically like cheat on each other. And then he posted that publicly, and Colossal was like, yeah, I don't agree with that. You shouldn't do that. Like, that's wrong morally. Like to do, you shouldn't bring his family into it, even though he brought your family into it. You should have taken the moral high ground.
Yeah, so, Tommy can be a little bit immature. That's probably the thing I don't like about him so much.
Yeah, He
said it himself. That
he's kind of similar to Keemstar in more than Colossal is. Like him and Keemstar are more alike than they probably even know.
I can see it.
Tommy is just very, very transparent, which is why I like Tommy better. He's like always completely honest. And like Keemstar tries to be honest, but then he also tries to hide things without lying about it at the same time. Like he tries to, he like misconstrues information.
Well, Tommy kind of has a character too. Never mind.
But at least Tommy pretty much stays to what he's feeling, unless he gets like betrayed or backstabbed or like pushed around. Then he like fights back. Yeah. Whereas like Keemstar will change the narrative a lot, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah." Like before it was all Colossal's fault that it was breaking up, and now it's Tommy's fault, and he never trusted Tommy, and it's like, he probably just wanted to not have Tommy, or maybe you just didn't want to have the same, maybe you're just looking for a way to end it. You can't tell because he's so like, maybe he's not purposely being dishonest, because I do know people who legitimately believe whatever they're saying as the truth, even if it's like a lie. But at least Tommy, I feel like, is more clear-headed when it comes to like reality, which gets into, so they walked, and then Tommy's like, well, I'm going to continue the baited podcast. I'm going to get these two people.
Yep.
Andy, how do you
say his name?
Galifianakis.
How do you say his last name? Milanakis.
I think. I didn't know who he was. Honestly.
I didn't either.
I had to look him up when he said who he was, and I watched a video on him talking about how like girls give him blowjob. It was a music video where girls give him blowjobs if he plays Drake.
How old is he?
He's 40.
Really?
What?
He looks like a 13-year-old.
Are you kidding me? I thought he was super.
No,
what?
I know.
I thought he was like 15.
Yeah.
He looks like it.
His voice is so high. All right. Well, all right. Yeah, I find him.
He sounds like Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, man. Yeah.
When I was listening to the podcast, I was like, you sound just like Ellen DeGeneres. So I go to the podcast.
I thought it was a chick at first.
I do this a lot. I go to the podcast. I go to whatever I'm watching. And then if I don't like it before I'm watching, which I know is silly, but like if I'm annoyed, I was like annoyed with Keemstar, I'll leave a dislike, but then I'll always listen to it all the way through. And then if the content or gets better, or there's apologies, I'll change it to a like because it's easy to do.
That sounds fair.
So I did that.
I think I do that
and
too.
And I was like, I'll change it to a like if, it gets better because I do that. I've even done that in Tommy's videos before when I thought it was going to be bad and then I changed it to a like later. And like within 5 minutes of that, and there's like, I just see tons and tons of dislikes.
Of course.
They just disable the ratings completely.
Yeah.
And then I was like, are you serious? You disable the ratings that fast? Like what
yeah, that's just
move,
stupid.
Like.
No, yeah. I don't think you should ever disable the ratings for a video because it's just stupid.
I agree. I disabled the ratings on one video that I did.
Oh, that's right.
And it was like way later down the line. And I was just like, this is my most popular video, and it's either I delete the video because it got so much hate, or I just disable the ratings, and then, I won't delete the comments. I'll just...
Well, why? Why would you... No, seriously, wait a minute. Hold on. Why would you delete the video just because it got, like, so much hate? Like, do you still stand by what you said in the video?
I think the video was funny, and I thought it was a good video, but I was like, it's got so much hate, and it's so popular right now. Like, everybody's going to see it, and then they'll see my most popular video being my most hated video, and that, like, was annoying to me. I was like, oh, I don't want...
Well, maybe... no, because maybe people will come by after your, like, maybe you, like, blow up or something, and then maybe they'll see your most popular video is, like, super hated, and they'll be like, oh, no, hey, this is actually... pretty good. I'm gonna drop a like on this.
No, and I left the ratings till like a month ago. I think I finally disabled it, and the video is like itself like 3 months old. So I left it a while, and then I was like, I just don't want like people like not to click a video on my channel. So they go to my channel for the first time and they see I just have awful ratings on my biggest video, and then they just like leave the channel. So I was like, I'll just disable the ratings.
All right.
And I've been so back and forth with that, and I was like, I don't know.
If you're stupid enough to just like see a rating on a video, and that's like, oh, you're gonna base whether or not you watch the rest of the video on that rating. I think that's kind of stupid.
I mean, that's true. I mean, actually, I think I'm almost the opposite. I see a video, because I use vidIQ, and it'll show you a video's ratings before you even click on it.
Oh, I need to get that.
And so, it'll show on the thumbnail, like, the percentage of it, yeah. And then I'll click on it if it has a lot of dislikes, because a lot of the times I'm like, oh, why does everybody hate this? Like, I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, curiosity.
Yeah, you're really... I think you're shooting yourself in the foot by disabling the ratings on your video.
I would consider putting it back. I don't know, it's hard because it's also the same thing I feel about like deleting videos. Is like it's my start, but then do I want people seeing gameplay on my channel when they first go?
Oh,
when I don't want gameplay on my channel. And it's like things like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what that's like. That's why I'm gonna make like a new like trailer and everything, and now I got the whole dilemma.
Pretty good. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's fucking terrible. And I gotta make it. I'm gonna make a new one, and then I got the whole dilemma of like, okay, do I delete the old one, or do I put it in a playlist so you can still find it? I think I'm probably gonna do that, but
you can call it Casey Classics.
Casey Classics. Well, anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. So we're distracted again. But so I made a comment about the dislikes being like turned off like in the first 5 minutes. Like, I think you should at least like wait a while if you do disable ratings. And I usually am really, really against that in the first place, anyways, like disabling ratings. And so I was like, okay, well maybe he'll enable it later and stuff. So I'm watching the video. I'm surprisingly, out of everybody, Keemstar I wasn't the most annoyed with. I actually found who's the fat guy? Or they're all fat.
Are you talking about you're talking about Chad, anything for views?
Chad.
Yeah,
Chad actually annoyed me the most. And I think he's fun. Like, I watch Filthy Frank all the time, and I usually enjoy him. And he's a dick on Filthy Frank, granted. And granted, he might still be in character. But he said something in the podcast that was just like kind of.
Oh yeah. He said Tommy should have died in the army.
Oh, I thought that was a bit too far.
That was just like okay.
I mean, you can be addicted to Tommy, and you have every right to be addicted to Tommy if you feel like it, whatever. But I feel like when you start saying like, oh, he should have died in the army, then you're kind of like also taking a jab at like anybody who decided to be in the army. Not that you're purposely doing it, but it's just disrespectful. Like, he went to the army specifically to serve, to help, and like saying you should have died in the army is like.
I've always enjoyed Chad.
I don't know, it has bad connotations.
But what he said, it doesn't matter how you look at it. What he said was just flat out terrible. And I think that it sounded like they were just trying to, like, both Chad and the other guy, Andy, they were both like trying to be as like they like were trying to sound tough.
They were dick sucking like the whole time.
Yeah,
too.
It was terrible.
And like that's what I didn't like is like. Well, at least like Tommy was most of the time on Keemstar, but like when he ever did feel like that wasn't right or what he's saying wasn't right, he said it.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like these guys were just like, yeah, whatever, just let us stay on the podcast.
Well, they were kind of spineless. Yeah.
They were just like sucking in like the whole time, and I was like, well, I didn't come here to just listen to two guys bow down to Keem the entire time. Like,
well, at least they all got to talk. Like, no one was like, a quiet factor, like kind
there's
of. There's
no yelling really, except Keemstar's random laughing.
They all agreed with Keemstar.
Like,
it's like his forced laughing at the beginning of the podcast.
Oof.
It was not that this podcast is any better, but I think we could maybe be a little. We didn't.
Well, okay, we're not gonna be screaming at each other. That's a given.
Unless Dylan joins, we can start screaming at him.
We'll yell at Dylan, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
No one knows who that is.
Everybody leaves.
He's a future host.
Inside jokes. Yeah, so I was annoyed by that. And then Andy surprisingly didn't really bother me because even when they were making fun of like Tommy, he like didn't touch it with like a 10-foot pole. I don't even think he said like much of anything about Tommy.
I really didn't like Andy. Just his performance in general. Like,
I just didn't think he was that good on the podcast, but I don't think him as a person annoyed me as much, if that makes any sense.
I agree.
Did you get to the weird part at the end of the podcast where like
Chad's girlfriend came on?
Chad's girlfriend. They were talking about how
just
she
weird.
was gonna suck everybody's dick and stuff.
Yeah, it's just weird and
trying to get to Filthy Frank or
grimy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
grimy.
know.
I mean, yeah, it was like just sounded
I'm not
super
like offended by a lot of
shady.
things. I just didn't like.
It's like I don't really want to hear about it. Like fucking.
I feel like if I was like her, I'd be really upset, I guess. But she was like talking about sleeping with him on the thing, so it's not that big a deal. It just was weird and like not as. This sounds pretty gay, but I didn't feel a connection with the podcast. Like,
no.
Before I felt like all three of the people were like not chill guys, but like they felt like they knew each other, like kind of. Yeah,
they all had a mutual respect for each other, and
like there was a little bit of a relationship there, be it just an online relationship or whatever. And I kind of liked that how it worked. And this just didn't work. It was like Keemstar plus two guests is what it felt like.
That's a good way of putting it, I think.
And then
except that the guest wasn't like usually the guest is like about to fight Keemstar, where this was two guests that were just gonna be like, oh yes, keep me on. I want to be new baited hosts. And
you know who I like. you know H3 just started a podcast.
Oh, that's really good.
And
That's a really good
it
podcast.
sounds great. It's just like two people. Like he did one with PewDiePie and one with the.
I started listening to the first one with Justin Roiland.
Mhm.
I totally got bored and I couldn't listen to the full thing. I love both of these people.
God. It is slow.
And it's just so slow. And
he is a bit slow. I like the things they talk about, I guess.
The prank calls at the end were hilarious.
The prank calls.
Oh, I didn't never get to that part. Okay. I'll have to. Well, I'll go through and watch it again.
Is super funny.
Yeah, I'll go watch it full.
That part was amazing.
For the full
the PewDiePie one was less interesting to me. Like,
but yeah,
it was like bad
because
quality.
he didn't record it with the
every
setup.
interview Ethan of H3 has done in the past, it's always been like edited and like shortened, and those have always been good. But when he did a podcast, it's just one long like thing, unedited. And I just wasn't. I didn't think it was really that good, to be honest.
You know, I can see where you're coming from. And I listened to it while I was driving in my car, so I didn't really like. I like just having things on like all the time. So to me, I might not be as bored by things because I just like noise like all the time. And so then I got to like the funny part of it, like it leaves on a good note with like the prank calls and everything. So that might be why I think it's a bit better. The PewDiePie one I didn't finish. It got kind of slow, but the Justin Roiland one I thought was really good actually.
I hate this because like I love both of them. I love Justin Roiland so much as a voice actor. I mean, he did Lemon Grab, which is like my favorite voice actor of Adventure Time, and I just look up to him so much. But the podcast was just so bad.
They were just kind of like talking to each other.
Yeah,
and I liked it. I liked that it was like really not like personal, but it was really like laid back.
They were both friends, so you know.
It was like a laid back podcast.
It was really laid back.
And it's also
I felt like it was too laid back.
Well, I guess it's three people, but his wife barely ever talks.
Oh yeah.
So
I remember looking at the thing. Yeah, I remember looking at the thing, and I think I saw her she laughed like once, and it went to her on her camera, and then that was it.
It's like the whole thing.
Really.
I like her. I like that she's like the opposite of Ethan in so many ways. No,
quiet kept to herself.
If you get to the prank calls though, they like call this like fat
cash for gold place.
Yeah, that, and they call this like company where there's like they basically freeze your fat, and then Justin Roiland was pretending to be like this kid in the background. I was like, "Are you gonna be okay?"
Oh,
and he's like, "I'm really worried about you." It was like
he does like a really good act.
Oh, this sounds great. I'll have to listen to it.
It was good.
Like, I'm worried about you.
Like, I'm worried about you. Oh, I can't do it, but
I'm worried you're gonna spend all your money. Yeah.
So, did all of us listen, or did all of us basically agree that the new Baited was pretty awful?
I think,
just in general.
Yeah, like I guess it's watchable, but I'm not gonna enjoy it as much.
I agree.
Honestly, the whole middle part, I like it. Like I listened probably to the H3 podcast and got more out of it than the middle part. I just like drone. Like I forgot what it was all about.
I zoned out during the podcast.
Yeah, I zoned out.
Oh, you didn't like Baited? Oh, you zoned out during Baited? Number 14?
Yeah, like I was cleaning while I was listening to it, like, and out of nowhere, like, I would just be thinking about something else and like not what the.
I thought it was interesting.
Like, they started talking about like the plane thing, and maybe that's just boring to me.
Plane
he was
thing.
Like, and then was like Andy, like, no, you shouldn't give other people. You just always give people second chances. You're just such a good guy, Keem. You should stop doing that.
I hate that.
That was really annoying.
That's the thing about. That's the thing about Chad.
Yeah.
He lives up to his fucking name. He does anything for views. No, he does anything for views, and you can translate to he does anything for money. And it's just kind of
and
like,
then that's even when he's like, you should do whatever for money. I don't care if it's clickbait. Like, which I do agree more with Andy on that one is if clickbait wasn't so like popular on YouTube, I would enjoy making my video title exactly what it is and then my thumbnail exactly what it is and then not having to worry about it. But life in general has to involve clickbait. Like you go to a theater, or not a theater, you go to a freaking like movie, rental place. And it's
Yeah.
the same as YouTube. It's basically clickbait. You're looking at titles and like half of them have like half naked chicks on them. It's how the world works. You put something interesting enough on the cover, you'll be like,
yeah, I'm going to have to clickbait one of these days if I want to get anywhere.
And then, you know, the people who don't clickbait basically have to rely off of word of mouth. So you have like animators and artists and stuff, and they don't clickbait, and then they're like big guys, they're big friends that do clickbait are like, here, dude, I'll help you out, I'll shout you out. And that's how those people kind of get popular.
Yeah, but you still...
It's kind of sad in a way, I guess.
Yeah, but like you're always relying on another person to like boost you up. You can't like it feels like you can't like swim by yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, I guess the entertainment industry is supposed to kind of be like that in the first place anyways. Like, you don't really get anywhere just from like, sadly, just from like hard work. There's very few people who just happen to make it big from just like putting their blood, sweat, and tears into something. You need to have some kind of connection.
Although it does happen.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like a rare occurrence, but it can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm from Detroit, so Eminem's kind of like a decent, like, he comes from Detroit, and he basically like came from nothing into something. So you got people who do, but
I'm not familiar with Eminem's story, but I think I've heard one of his things, one of his raps.
You just offended like Toxic's like whole lifestyle.
Like I'm a thug or something. I'm from Detroit, so I'm basically a super
Bro,
thug.
I can throw hands with you.
Yeah.
Let me just throw down. Let me do some beatboxing. Let me get my M9 out and I don't know. I'm gonna start being racist in a second if I don't watch it.
Yeah, I got my hand on my gat.
I'll be like the one friend in the Eminem movie who like puts his gun in his pants and like shoots his balls off or whatever.
Jeez.
That happened?
No, I think he just like shot himself when he like cocked the gun and put it in his like in his pants, like the front of his pants, and just like shot or something.
Oh, sheesh.
Whoever's watching this podcast or listening, watching and listening, I don't know.
I guess you can kind of watch since there's going to be like a little thing. There's going to be kind of a visual. Or fuck it.
Yeah.
CSGO. Now you're watching CSGO.
CSGO gameplay.
They're going to click on it and be like, yeah, I'm not. I'm so tired of gameplay.
Well, no. Just for when I said CSGO.
No.
Okay, now it's Overwatch.
Oh, CSGO. Oh, okay. Overwatch. You get some of those little kids with that.
Okay, now it's StarCraft 2.
No, I just offended a bunch of everybody. Oh, wow. You're going to get Asians? Like, I don't know.
I was just going to play it myself.
I was just going to say it's super popular in like
Asia. Yeah, Korea.
Hey, Toxic, just keep saying random games so Casey has to edit more.
Keep saying
Alright,
what?
take StarCraft 2 down.
Random games.
Okay, how about
Penguin Club gameplay.
How about SpongeBob?
Oh.
You know how
Wait, which one? Oh, the SpongeBob video game movie game?
Yeah.
Fucking terrible title, by the way. That's like the
Inspector Gadget.
Such a bad title.
That is a pretty bad title. How about Inspector Gadget for the PS1?
There you go.
That's a good game. It's like top down.
You know how hard? Oh man, I'm gonna have to.
Now Casey, play all those games at the same time on the same screen.
Okay, that's a lot of editing. Let's slow down here.
It's not too bad. You just throw like 4 video files of like an hour length and then put them in little squares. You got to just play an hour of each of these games too, as well.
That's the thing. I don't know. I didn't even have Inspector Gadget downloaded. All these until you said Inspector Gadget, I had all the games like on my computer. Now I gotta do like
a game
further research.
No one knows about. It's like that game didn't even exist till I brought it into like existence a second ago.
Oh boy,
people are going to be watching since we decided on that now.
Okay,
they're going to be watching this podcast and be like, I can't even this is so all over the place. What do we like baited? Then it's like the baited drama. Then it's I hate the new baited, and then it's video games.
Well, it's a rant. Let's rant. I mean,
we're just going to talk about whatever we feel like. God damn it.
If we're talking about whatever we feel like, have you seen those 1,000-degree knife videos.
Oh my
man.
god, I don't want to talk about this.
Yo, you don't want to talk
Come
about
on.
it?
Now we can put
Best
now
content.
Even though,
we can put it in the video title now. Awesome.
yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
Title the video all about 1,000-degree knife videos.
I'll even put like a heated knife in the thumbnail. No, I won't do that.
We'll name it. We talk about heated knife videos at the end of the video.
I actually
Yeah.
haven't seen that many. To be honest,
You know,
I've only
I
seen one.
kind
I've
of
only
get
seen
the
one.
idea just from watching one, and then like,
Yeah, you just cut stuff with a hot
well,
knife.
like my girlfriend will watch. She like used to watch the press videos, and she was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh, look at this is kind of satisfying." The knife videos, and so like I understand people being like, "Oh, it's pretty cool." What I don't like is I was watching a video earlier today on it, and like KSI and KSI's brother, I think, both did videos on it.
there's so
And they,
many
like, freaking,
people
like, cut a
hopping on the
potato
trend.
bag.
Yeah,
Oh, and
Yeah.
like they're just not satisfied. Like it's not good. Like he didn't heat it up enough. It's just, I don't know. It just,
he didn't.
It wasn't
Not
good.
good enough of a knife.
I don't know. I like, and then he's like, KSI's like, oh, and I cut my playback button, and so he goes over to the playback button. He's like, oh, it's not working. That's weird. Oh well.
Oh my god.
And then he just doesn't cut it. He's like, oh, I guess I forgot to heat the knife. Oh wow, okay, wow.
I can't
That's
stand
clickbait.
KSI.
Oh, and then his brother was like, or Xbox One versus knife. And then at the end of the video, he doesn't cut an Xbox One. He cuts an Xbox 360 controller in
I
half.
heard about this.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
And I was like,
stupid. On the baited podcast.
Wow, that's-
yeah.
that pisses me off.
Now we're back to baited.
We've gone full circle.
Oh yeah. Wait, yeah. Oh, that Baited talked about the knives. So,
Yeah.
oh, it's bad though. I think we pretty much discussed what we felt about Baited. Basically, I still like Tommy. I still like Colossal, and it was nice of Keemstar. I forgot to mention this in the video. He mentioned their new podcast, and then he linked it.
Yeah,
and then
in
he
the
said he's trying to
description.
put water under the bridge. I feel like that's big for Keemstar. He's still kind of a dick for replacing them, but
I still feel like he does the same thing all the time.
it's gonna happen to the new
Like-
guys too. If
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
You know, I wanted to make a different point that I thought was good. There's a podcast that Baited has where basically he was talking about Ty Blue. Remember when he took over for a little bit?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he goes, he got a lot of dislikes. He's fired.
Oh man.
Okay.
So
your new video-
Okay, let me say this: Ty Blue, fucking obnoxious dick. I hate him. I hate him. He sucks.
Yeah.
But he did not deserve to be fucking fired
fired.
over. Oh, his video didn't do that good. It's like,
It wasn't
give him
funny.
a
It wasn't
goddamn
good.
chance. I know he like. I hated him as soon as he fucking flipped off the audience. Like it's like,
he
fuck
really
you,
do that? I don't know.
dude. Fuck you. You flipped me off. It's like, go fuck yourself. But
I never
okay.
minded him.
Like just because he I don't care. I don't care if he flipped anybody, if he flipped off the audience. Like I'm sure I hate him. I don't appreciate him. I'm not gonna watch anything with Ty Blue in it. But you shouldn't fucking fire him.
He was pretty
just
boring.
because you just because the video didn't do that well. And it's like, come on. He's like, I thought he.
one video, he was like, this video didn't do well. He's fired. I was like, really? That seriously?
Oh
That's
no,
it?
it was more than one video.
And then he was like begging for him to come
Well,
back.
I know,
when
but
he
he
was
was
sick.
specifically talking about the one where he was talking about the chick who was like, I don't like dildos or something weird like that, and he was like fired. I was like, wow, okay, Donald Trump. So
fucking
Fired.
Keemstar. Like,
well, that's what
Well,
I feel
he,
like.
like,
If he
talks
does
about-
another podcast with the new people, this podcast got so much hate.
oh yeah.
Isn't he a hypocrite for not firing them? If the podcast got way more hate than he would have got for Ty Blue, you know, he didn't get over half, or I mean,
What
he
you're
didn't get
saying
nearly as much
is
hate.
he a hypocrite for not firing them?
Yeah, under his same line of thinking, shouldn't he fire them since everybody's upset by it because it's just not getting the likes it deserves?
I think regardless of who he got, I think if he got Howard Stern, I think people would still be disliking the video. I think if he got the best people he could ever get, there's still gonna be people upset. That's how it is whenever you change hosts. People just don't like change. I don't think he's a hypocrite for firing them, but I do think that asking the question is kind of void in a little bit, because I think these guys are pretty much out the door. That's just me though, because like
I
they're
don't
just
know if they do another podcast and it still gets a lot of hate, then you know it's probably them.
they just
I
don't
guess.
make.
Well, I don't know how
they
many
don't
it
make
takes.
baited like good. They don't make baited what
It's not
baited
baited
was
to me, I
good.
don't know.
Yeah. Well, okay, my fucking grammar on that was terrible, but you know what I'm saying. Baited was
baited to
good
me was
because
like
everybody like talked and shouted over each other. Sorry, I'm talking over you.
oh no, I don't care.
That's
baited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like baited, like they shouted, they got heated, and the current hosts, they're not gonna like they don't do that with each other. They don't have that
No
relationship.
To me, baited was like you're like, I hate Ty Blue, and I'm like, oh, I love Ty Blue. Let's fight about it. Like that was kind of like what baited was about. And like every once in a while they agreed on certain things, but then like this is like,
Wait, who hated
I
Ty
don't know.
Blue?
Sometimes I feel what you
Oh.
you said a second ago.
Yeah, you said you hate Ty Blue.
And then I was like, I like, I don't like Ty Blue that much, but I was like, he's okay. And then like Astro was like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna listen. And then Astro is apparently the Tommy
of this podcast.
Of our group. Yeah.
I don't know. Casey has the Tommy laugh.
Oh,
I just want to know why.
Thanks.
So Astro, who's
Oh, it's not offensive, Casey.
Are you gonna suck Casey's dick more or mine? Just out of curiosity.
You know, I
Just-
hate that.
nah.
I hate
Neither.
that whenever it's
Neither.
a
I hate
fucking
both of
whenever
you.
somebody pays somebody else a compliment, oh, it means they're sucking their dick. It's like, why? When did we? Why is it like that? Where we have to? Where that's the first thing that we all say. It's like, oh man,
No, I
let
agree.
me suck your dick. Let me. Oh, like that. Your shoes look nice today. Let me get down on all fours and suck your penis. Like that's why make that jump just instantly? It's getting stale.
Yeah.
It's getting really fucking stale. Like
No,
it was
no,
kind of
no,
funny
I
at first, but now it's just kind of like oh, your hair looks nice today. Let me just keep sucking your penis. Like the fucking stop. It's like
anytime you compliment somebody, you're doing that, and every time, it doesn't matter what.
yeah, it's dumb.
Hey, Toxic, I really liked that video you uploaded. It was pretty good.
Oh, thanks. Ooh, that feels good. I'm just kidding. Oh. Wow. No, I do think it's overused. I do feel that the new Baited, however, did have a lot of that going on. Only because they were like, yeah, Keem, you got it rough. You got it real bad. And I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, you can't feel fucking sorry for Keemstar. He's brought his own destruction multiple times, and he's a goddamn cockroach. He's not going anywhere. You don't have to feel bad for Keemstar. He's fine. He doesn't need your sympathy. He he knows what he's doing.
No, I agree.
I
feel like anything for views would be like, yeah, blah, 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 like kind of, being real nice to him, and then all of a sudden he'd realize that he's like the usual dick, and then he'd be like, yeah, but you frickin' suck, Keemstar.
Yeah, that felt so forced.
It felt forced.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't feel like he was meaning it. Like,
yeah, he was just like, he
just felt really
realized,
forced.
yeah, exactly how you said.
He's like, oh, I gotta be Colosso for a second. Yeah, Keemstar, you're a dick. And then I was like, oh, okay, that felt like you were just saying it because you forgot you were supposed to be someone else. Like,
I know. Like, if you're gonna act, dude, at least act well, because you got some big shoes to fill.
oh, you know what else? Sorry, there's another thing that pissed me off, but I don't know if it was just a joke. But for some reason, it still made me mad. Is when they were talking about iDub, and he's like, I'm not iDub's friend.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure he was joking.
Oh,
though.
that fucking messed me up. That fucking it's like holy shit! Everything I know is a lie. Like he was just doing a stream
we're
with
just
him.
business partners.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, where he's like the green guy in the background.
Yeah, that was super funny.
I guess like if iDub said that, I would assume he's being sarcastic because everything iDub says is like dry and kind of sarcastic, and sometimes it's hard to tell. And maybe I don't watch enough of this guy compared to iDubbbz, but it just sounded so mean. Like, why wouldn't you just be like, yeah, he's a good friend? Like, just say something nice. Like,
I know, and they go back so far as to
it wasn't like playful.
Like, oh no, it's just business.
It wasn't like
it's just business.
So many filthy
it wasn't
Frank
like the playful
videos.
banter, like, oh, he's a dick, like just kind of like joking around. It was legitimately like, he's a business partner, and then they're like,
yeah.
He's like, no, he's a business partner.
Man.
It's like, okay.
I don't know what you guys are laughing about. He's just a business partner.
And then I was like, I guess you could still be in character, but why wouldn't you just want to say something nice about? I don't know.
I was fucking losing my
he's a
mind. I
good
was like,
friend.
everything I know is a lie.
Like, they all hate each other. They're just
in the
views.
videos because people like when they all work together. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's what even Keem understood that, like, Max and Chad, they have like a really good, like, relationship, and like they have very good chemistry. There's quite a few, like, gaming videos that are actually, you know, quite funny, where it's just the two of them, like, playing, and like, how can you say something that's just like, oh, it's just business? It's like, I mean, did he say, I forget if he said that about Max as well. I don't think he did.
I don't know if he said that about Max.
No,
But he
he
did say
did
it
about
about
iDubbbz.
iDubbbz.
Yeah.
I was like, what a dick thing to say. Like, I like iDubbbz probably. Well, I don't know if I like him entertainment-wise as much as Filthy Frank.
Oh, yeah,
But,
no, it's
like,
hard to...
Out of the group, I probably think iDubbbz is, like, my favorite. I don't know why, but he definitely is my favorite.
I don't think you can compare Filthy Frank with anyone, because he's just
Filthy
a
Frank
legend.
is just so...
Yeah.
He just goes all out with his content. Like, he's doing so many things at once. It's not just gross out humor. It's, like... gross out humor with his like really well made songs and this and that.
Yeah, and then he has the worst series or worst movie ever made or something like that. The series of videos. Oh man, those are.
And then he has
everything
he has a lore behind his channel. He's
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's amazing. Like, he has like
the
I don't
man's
know.
a genius.
Did you see, like, the newest video?
Hey, wow,
Like,
you gotta
everyone
stop.
came back to, like, fight the evil
You.
friend.
God damn it.
You can't give him a comment. No, well, and then iDubbbz has had some failed attempts. Like, I thought the one where he was like in his like SpongeBob outfit, like slingshotting stuff in his basement was just boring. Like, it was a bad video. But
boring.
Like some of the video before that, I thought was really good. Like you know how he's like in his basement doing the basement locker videos for like 2 videos.
Was boring?
No, I thought the first one was great, and then I thought the one where he's in his SpongeBob outfit just breaking stuff in his basement was like boring. Like, it didn't have any good jokes.
It certainly wasn't. It wasn't like it didn't live up to the rest of his content.
It just didn't live up. Like the one where he was eating like the bugs was like really entertaining, and then the SpongeBob one in the outfit where he's just breaking stuff was just like.
No,
like,
yeah, I get that.
It didn't.
When you compare that video to the rest of his videos, then yes, I agree. It
or
wasn't as
specifically
good.
even the video that came out right before it, I was just like, this just is kind of like not as good.
Yeah.
He blew up after that Leafy thing though.
That
I
was
was surprised
crazy.
how many people like were like, oh, iDubbbz, like.
Let's go to iDubbbz instead.
And I was like, oh,
okay. Gotta fill that gap in your heart.
No, I do. I like all those guys a lot, except now the fat guy because.
Oh yeah,
but
fucking Chad.
His name though, his name though, kind of does explain it. I guess I don't know. I want to just
fat cunt.
Be like, he's probably a character. Like if that's his name, he's being a character.
I want to believe that he's being like a character, and I think that he's being a character when he says a lot of things. But I don't think he was being a character when he said that that iDubbbz was a business partner, because that's not funny. It's not a joke. There's no punchline. It made me fucking question everything about like everybody and like their relationships with each other. So like like I don't know exactly what their relationships are really at all.
Like outside of it.
Yeah.
No. I think I feel like I agree with that completely. I was like, I don't. Either you were joking and it was just a not funny joke, or just like that's where there's a lot of people in the comments who are like, well, it's a joke, stupid. It's like, well, if it's a joke, then I should be laughing. Like, I should think it's funny, and I didn't. Like, it wasn't funny. Like,
yeah.
And some people do. Maybe they found the like, Tommy should have died in the army joke funny, but is that really a joke? Like, what's the punchline? It's
not a very good joke.
He dies in the army because it's funny because he was in the army and that he also should have died. Suicide joke, or not suicide joke. Death jokes are funny. 2016.
I know, and that's like he's Australian, so like I try to like think of it as like, well, like they call each other like cunt all the time, and I'm like it's it's like everything's more gritty, but still, you don't fucking say.
I have a bunch of Australian friends, and they're still like, they're not like walking around being like, that guy was unfunny, he should have died in the army.
Yeah, you don't say, I wish you fucking died,
Whoa.
bitch.
This escalated quickly. Like, oh man, his laugh was annoying, and he never added anything, ever, and he should have died.
Yeah.
Okay, he should have died. Wow, that's
nobody.
Jeez. That's what I like. Ended up leaving the podcast thinking. I went into the podcast thinking I was going to be really mad at Keem, and ended up being more mad at him for some reason.
Yeah,
I was like surprised. I was excited. Like, Keem actually looked all right. Like
I was when I found out that Chad was going to be on Baited, I was like, oh man, I'm super stoked for this. Yeah, sure, it sucks that that the whole split up thing, but it means if this podcast is gonna if it's good, then we got 2 podcasts now. So hey, that's looking up. But fucking Chad is he was really not good on the podcast, and I
like Chad because I thought he was going to argue with Keemstar, but he didn't. He was just nice to him, and then said whatever mean things he could about the people Keemstar didn't like.
Yeah,
that's true. Either way, I'm still probably gonna keep listening to it, when I'm really bored.
Oh sure, I'm gonna listen to it too, and I think
you mean for the next
ones? For the next Baited number 15 or whatever.
I was like, you're gonna just watch that same one again. Oh gosh,
over and over.
Time for the 4th listen. Okay, well, all right, that's weird, but whatever, float your boat. No, I might listen to the next one. I probably will. For a while, I still watched Leafy videos just for the news, or whatever drama he was talking about, and then I couldn't finish a video of Leafy's. I was like, I get bored 4 minutes in, if that.
Leafy's.
And then I was like,
just goes on and on and on about nothing. And
well, he repeats himself over and over, and I'm sure I might have done that in this podcast, but he's so bad.
This is a podcast. This is something completely different than when you're editing.
Specifically called Let's Rant.
That's true.
When you're making a video, you should be able to watch the video and be like, oh yeah, this is a 10-minute video, and I said this 8 times. Maybe I should just cut a few of those out.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's edited. It's fucking edited. You had to say it, you had to do everything once, but then you had to go back at least a second time and listen to it in order to fucking put the video together.
Even if you don't use a clip, you still have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be like, yeah, I did repeat myself a lot? That annoys me so much when people make their videos 10 minutes and then they just repeat themselves over and over to get it to 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm just wasting my time hearing you make the same point over and over again.
I'm not not to throw you under the bus or anything, but didn't you make a video where you were like, I'm just trying to get it to 10 minutes? I think you mentioned.
I think I did make that joke.
It's just one. I think it's only one video. It's not
everyone makes that joke.
Is it my FoozyTube video?
It might have been. I think it might have been. Yeah.
I also talked about the main subject at the end of the video.
You're just like, I'm just almost at 10 minutes. Hold on, guys. Okay, all right, we're at 10 minutes. All right, have a good one.
Yeah, well, I do have a definite, I don't know, maybe a layer of irony under some of my videos. I don't know how much I do that. But
well, it was funny.
That's part of your persona.
It was funny. No, I'm not saying that it was bad what you did. It was very self-aware, and you didn't do something like fucking Leafy where you just repeat yourself over and over again until you hit the 10-minute mark. You actually...
You know what also annoys me? When someone's intro is 20 seconds long and then their outro is 40 seconds long. And it's you literally have a minute.
Well, I think the outro can be as long as you want.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter because people click off.
I think if the outro is just as long as the rest of the video, that's super annoying. But I don't know. It doesn't bother me very much when the outro is kind of long because people are...
Not really. I never watch Pyro's more than 2 seconds. Plus, I really like his music for some reason.
Oh, yeah. So, no, it's a good song. I forget what it's called. It's White Woods or something like that.
Beach Walk,
that's right.
Yeah. White Woods Beach Walk, something like that.
Yeah, no, it's a good song.
And he puts a clip after it, so that way you might actually stay for the 30 seconds, and watch these little clip or whatever. So, I mean, it's clever. But at least Pyro does that the most out of like anybody, I think, is he's like, oh, gotta get that 10-minute ad revenue. He'll say it in like a lot of videos.
Pyro's such a mixed bag. There are a lot of videos that I find really good and like entertaining, but he makes
I hate
so
his
many
gameplay videos.
Oh, really?
Like right out.
Really?
I hate them. Yeah, I don't know
I
why.
like them.
I just don't
They're pretty
like them.
good.
Like when he's playing Overwatch, I skip every Overwatch video.
Oh man.
Well, most of the time I just have it like in the
I
background.
skip every
playing.
CS:GO video with friends.
But
I hate him.
Roadhog is his
When he's by
waifu.
himself, they're not bad.
Oh.
He'll mention it in a lot of videos, but I just don't like his game. But I don't like gameplay videos to begin with very much.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
it's like
that's
me.
fair.
Like, I just don't like watching people play video games. I have for whatever reason.
Oh, really?
I watch 2 channels of people playing games, and like that's
yeah,
it.
I used to watch gameplay videos a lot growing up. So
I used to watch Game Grumps.
Oh yeah, Game Grumps.
I still watch games.
And then I watch right now the only gameplay channel I watch is Cow Chopped. I don't know if you guys ever heard
I haven't
of them.
heard of them. I definitely could talk about Game Grumps for a while, but back to Pyro. His videos, like he does so many videos on the same fucking subject, like, and where it gets kind of like stale, and it's kind of like where he's
Like
beating
YouTube is broken.
yeah, where he's beating a dead horse, and
Yeah.
like I hate that. I get really annoyed when he just keeps making the same
thing,
video
like,
over and over again. But
I thought the same thing about Stomedy for a while. He was like really just bringing him up like all the time, and I was like, oh, it's just too much maybe.
And he's not a fucking perfect human being. He's done a lot of like shitty things over his career as a YouTuber, but he's also done like a lot of really cool things. So it's
shouting out people and
yeah.
I think they definitely outweigh the crappy
I can't
things
get mad
he's
at
done.
him.
Like even his Keemstar exposed video
Well,
was, I think, very warranted towards Keemstar.
I don't even remember.
But
I don't know if I even saw that one.
I think it only just because he was like Keemstar should have, did a disclaimer for the Toby Turner raped somebody thing, and then Keemstar like blew up and like got really pissed at him and like was like trying to face reveal him all the time and all this like really dickish stuff.
Well, and then that whole situation was dumb anyway because he had put it on his fucking what was it, his Facebook? He had face revealed on his Facebook, and like that was a whole ordeal. Mm-hmm. I don't think I can take either side. Yeah, really. They're both at fucking
Pyro
fault.
Or
they both overreacted.
Keemstar was like, Pyro might be a pedo. And then he like later on is like calling someone a pedo is terrible. It's like,
oh yeah,
are you serious? Like,
yeah,
are you serious? Like, you called that old dude a pedo, and then you also called Pyro pedo. You've called a bunch of people pedo.
Oh yeah, and that's what he also got like all high and mighty with the fucking Zoe Berger situation.
Oh, I didn't agree with him there at all either. Actually, I don't agree with Keemstar on a lot of things.
Oh sure, yeah. Well, we're talking about Pyro. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Keemstar says Zoe Berger's fine, and that, I mean, like,
I think she's fine.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with her.
But I just didn't agree on the whole like pedo thing. Like that's right. Like the whole baited episode on pedos, I didn't agree with him.
Yeah.
Like kind of making drama out of that. But okay, we were talking about Pyro.
Yeah, that's the subject was Pyro, and yeah, I just can't get. I'm repeating myself, but I can't get like completely mad at him because so many people have like gained success because he like shouts them out. So it's like,
yeah, well, he seems like a really nice guy, and so many YouTubers back up the fact that he helps them and he's really nice to them.
Yeah,
he's like a Colosso, but Colosso is crazy because I think he's part of the reason Colosso is crazy is as big as he is now.
Oh, that's right.
He helped him more.
Yeah.
Even Colossal said that Pyro's helped him more than Keemstar ever did. That's crazy because Colossal's the guy that's known for helping everybody else. He helped the guys from Hot Wet Soup out.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy. It's like it keeps going down, and then like none of them are ever like, well, I helped that guy and he doesn't respect me. Wow, like they're just like, we just help people if we can help them, and then. Everybody makes mistakes except, Colosso apparently.
Oh yeah, does he still have that that sort of like reputation and like stance in the community where he's just kind of like,
yeah, I think except for maybe the like the like whole asking for equal shares not being like it doesn't really it's not really bad for his reputation. It just I don't think was a fair point.
Man,
like I don't think it was.
I would not want to be in his shoes though, being like the fucking like the person everybody like looks up to for like moral.
No, he was saying he hopes somebody. I don't know if you watched.
Oh yeah.
Super. He's like, I hope somebody like
makes
gets
expose
me, so I don't
me.
have to worry about it.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, 'cause I'm sure it'll happen. He's pretty cool.
He's great. I think this is probably a pretty good place to wrap it up.
This is probably where we should wrap it up. It's a good.
We never talked about an outro. So
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
swing it, Casey.
I'll go ahead. Thank you very much for listening. You can find Toxic Toucan on his YouTube channel. There'll be a link on the screen and in the description. And we were also joined by Astro. Link to his Twitter and channel, I guess, since
for some reason.
I mean, we'll put it in there.
Don't worry, just
don't have too high expectations for that one, but that's just saying. Oh no.
Okay.
I'm just saying there's no no content yet, but he'll get there, I'm sure.
Casey, if they're coming from your channel, their expectations should be pretty. No, I'm sorry, that was mean.
All right.
Oh.
Well, anyway, thank you very much for listening. We will be back with. Let's see. Do we want to make this a weekly thing, or do you want to make this more of?
At least a few times. We'll just say a few times a month, maybe. I don't know. We'll try weekly, but if
that sounds like a good thing. Yeah. Two times a month.
We'll try weekly,
maybe
but
weekly.
at least 2 times a month, maybe more if we get it working well.
That sounds good. All right.
Yeah. I like that.
Thank you for watching. I guess it's listening.
Stay toxic. Wait, that's my outro.
That's your outro. I don't have an outro.
Okay, you can use mine tonight. You just say that.
Oh, no, you say it.
You have to say stay toxic? No, you should say it in my voice.
I'll say it. Stay toxic.